Hey guys, welcome to another week, Rugged Haven. My name is Omar. I am sitting on the Kubota. That's right, she's back. I asked my friend if he could just bring it down for a couple days, and he actually just brought his trailer, left his trailer. That way he could just pick it up and roll. But I just needed a couple days to kind of level this ground out and move some dirt and move some gravel. The asphalt millings that have been sitting here for like 2 months, I finally got them moved. Now I got the tractor yesterday. Today's August 1st. Yeah, it took maybe a couple hours just to move all of it and level it out. Let me stop talking about it. Let me show you. Oh yeah, look at that. Looks pretty good. I definitely need more, but I got it all the way almost to the front where the tarp is, where I started the tarp. And you can see, you know, the edges definitely need more. A little bit of the middle needs more. I've got a lot here because, well, this is where it actually came from and was sitting. But there's a lot that's off the tarp that I need to kind of clean up a little bit. There's also big chunks, big pieces, but that's normal with asphalt millings, right? Because it's just crushed blacktop. I'll go through that and level it out and everything like that. As far as the wood over here, I'm starting to reorganize it because I've been doing a lot of moving. I've actually pushed a lot of the ones that I've debarked up to the top of the hill. My new neighbor, the one that sold me the Connex, his name is Ben. We became very good friends during the process of trying to get this over here. And he watched my video and saw the kids, both Caleb and Amelia, debarking the trees, and he was like, hey, I know a guy and you know, that can treat that lumber. Yeah, he just said stack it up, and when I go to treat mine, I'll bring yours. He's gonna treat the lumber, which is amazing. Now I don't have to spend, you know, 20 minutes per trunk trying to burn it with my torch. So yeah, he's gonna do that for me, and it'll probably be in the next couple months, but I mean, still, it could be up there kind of out of the way. I think next month he's actually gonna go through with it. That's very nice of him, and yeah, it's a big help. So I've got this right here debarked. That's gonna be pushed up over there. The rest, this pile right here and this pile right here, I'm not liking the trees. There's a lot of like just messed up. They're either broken or rotten or whatever. So I'm gonna let them dry out. I'm gonna cut them into firewood pieces, and then I still have to go through that stack and that stack. But eventually, once I get all the debarked ones, I'm going to push those over there, and everything else that I don't want is gonna go in one of these 2 piles right here, and that'll clear up all this. Plus I have a little stack over there. That's what's going on with trees. Finally getting those moved and cleaned up, and I'll be able to kind of clear that ground over there and cut grass or whatever. Another thing that came up was this week, actually on Monday, one of my buddies from work came up to me. He knows about the property and he's rooting for me and all that, and he has too many chickens. And he's like, hey, I have 10 that I want to give away. I want to give them away to you. Do you want them? And of course, I've been setting up this area for a chicken coop, but I wasn't trying to do it like, you know, within the next couple of weeks. Well, turns out now that he's ready to get, you know, he wants to give us some chickens. We're like, yeah, we're on board. So I went on Marketplace, and I've had my eyes on this guy that builds coops. Now, I'm trying to make this as budget friendly as possible. So I've been looking for like used sheds that I can turn into a coop. I've seen that on YouTube a lot, and they look nice, right? Well, the used sheds that I've seen that are cheap or very budget friendly, if they're metal, they're, you know, they're rusted out, they have holes, they have huge dents. If they're wood, then, you know, they're rotted out, holes, and I just didn't want to deal with paying very little for something, but then spending a lot of time fixing it, and, you know, time and money, because I would have to get new wood or, you know, new metal piece, whatever. Been eyeballing this guy. His name is Dwayne. I'm gonna get more of his information later in the video because he's actually coming to drop off the coop. So what I did, let me just show you. Enough talking. This is the area, right? I've been trying to level it out a little bit. I haven't really focused on it. Only when I'm passing by do I put the land plane down. Caleb and I came out here a couple days ago, and we put 4 corners. It's gonna be a 6x6 coop. So that's where it's gonna sit right there. It's made of wood, you know, the trim, the legs, all that is treated wood, everything else is regular, so we're gonna paint it. That's going to be the base where it sits. It's going to face this way, and if you see, I've got, let me bring it down, I've got wooden stakes right there in front of that one, wooden stakes in front of that one, and then 2 wooden stakes, one right there and one right there. So this right here is going to be the run that I am going to build. I already got the hardware cloth on order. It's en route. This right here, I put it to the side instead of taking it up there to get treated with the other lumber. This is what I'm gonna have to burn to treat now. Yeah, and this is what I'm gonna make my run out of. The only thing I'll have to buy is probably maybe a handful. I'm gonna say 10 to 12 2x4x8s to finish that the coop off, or the run off. Yesterday also, after I put the millings out, I also went through all of this and kind of leveled it out a little bit, just from the excavator, you know, making ruts and dents, you know, ruts and holes and all that. Been leveling it out, and with leveling it out, it's kind of been getting rid of the grass, which whatever, the grass is growing like wildfire, so it'll come back. And then of course, with doing this, I'm picking up new roots, so I'll stop the tractor every area and just walk around and pick up big roots. Now, I have a to-do list for today, because I don't have the tractor for 6 months like I did last time. Tractor got here yesterday around 4. I worked until 7, so 3 hours, got a lot done. But when I got home yesterday, I started making a list of things that I want to do. So I want to clean the rock edge, so the edge here with all the millings, I want to clean that up. I'm going to move logs to the top of the hill, so the ones that you saw staged, plus I need to go through the 2 piles. Right, I'll move those up there, organize the logs, so whatever I don't use, I'm gonna put them in those 2 piles like I mentioned earlier. I'm gonna dig up the bottom of the chicken coop. So where I have the 4 stakes, I'm gonna dig the floor or the ground area, and I'm gonna put a pile of dirt to the side, because what I wanna do is I wanna bury the hardware cloth to protect from predators, and then I put dirt on top of that. So that I want to do that. I've never had chickens before, so doing research, watching YouTube, it's something that a lot of people recommend. So I'm gonna do it. That's all the talking and updates that I have for you. Let's finish the berm, and then we'll start moving logs. Amelia and Janice are gonna be here later, so they can handle one of those things on the list. All right, guys. Well, I got a lot done. It's the end of the weekend. Let me show you this big boy trailer right here. This is my buddy's. Whew, the tractor came in this, but he moves other stuff. All right, so part of the things that I did over the weekend with the tractor and without the tractor, I was using the GX for a minute, was piling these up. These are for my buddy Ben. These are going to eventually get treated, and then they're going to be fence posts. I think I'm going to start the fence post where the driveway is. I'm going to go down to the big battle scar tree and then come around the orchard and to the range, maybe a little bit past, depending on how much I clear. And eventually maybe, you know, all that back there. But yeah, that's what that is going to be used for. The dirt mound that I had over here delivered, I put it over by for the berm. Yeah, it's been a busy weekend. So not only did I do all this, and probably, well, it took all week. I did little by little, probably the last week and a half. Caleb has also been helping me with that. But this weekend, I finished that up. I had 6 piles over there. And I'll show you what that looks like. I cleaned that up. The ones that are debarked are over here. The ones that are not debarked, I consolidated. And more than likely, I'm just going to cut it up into firewood, because a lot of them were just, you know, very thin. And the amount of millings that I had, I used the land plane and graded all that. I got the chicken coop, which you saw me leveling it out, and it is perfectly leveled, front and back, side to side, or leveled and plumb, however you want to call it. But bam, there she goes. I got a couple windows in the back, vent right here. This comes down, I think. Yeah, there we go. Oh, and it comes off. Oh, I like that. Put it right in the slot. And then I think I need 2 hands for it, but yeah, nice. I like how that works. All right. The edges are treated. The bottom's obviously treated. And the outside is not. So we're going to paint it. We've got the nesting box right here. Wow, that's a heavy door. First time opening it. This thing is solid. Weighs 600 pounds. Now, let me tell you about the builder. Okay, so when I found out that I was getting chickens, which I found out this week, I messaged him. First of all, his name is Dwayne Rogers. Look him up on Marketplace or on Facebook. He builds chicken coops. He builds them with runs. He builds them smaller. He builds them bigger. And they are reasonably priced, especially for as solidly made as this thing is. This thing is a beast. So this is a 6x6 with no coop, or excuse me, no run. 6x6 vents, 2 big doors. Let me show you the big doors for cleaning. Big doors for cleaning on the side. Let me show you the inside. So this is how he has it locked, but obviously I can change that out. This one pops out. There you go. Ooh, look at that. 2 roosting bars. Yeah, a couple of vents. Pretty nicely knit chicken wire or hardware cloth, however you call it. I think it's hardware cloth. Chicken wire is bigger. So this is a 6x6. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nesting boxes and 2 roost bars. That's what the inside looks like. 6x6 for $1,000. Now, some of you might go, damn, you could have built your own. Listen, I thought about every possible scenario. I've looked at sheds and possibly turning it into a coop. The problem with the sheds were, if I wanted a decent one from Marketplace, they were around $700-800. And then I would have to take the time to make it into a coop, which, whatever, not a big deal. If I wanted to go budget friendly, which I always do, they were, you know, I could find sheds for $200, you know, metal sheds. Some of them were free, you know. But the amount of work that I would have to do, you know, I'm all about work, but I'm also on a time crunch here. So $1,000 for a 6x6 well built. This will last me, you know, the rest of my life. And I love it. Janice loves it. And yeah, we're ready for chickens. Well, almost ready. So the next video will be me building a coop, and it's gonna go obviously right in front. I'm going for a 24 by 6. I might go whatever, I think this is 24 feet right here. And I might go just past and use this space here. But maybe not, because I might want to get around here with a tractor. So who knows? Anyway, it's going to be at least 6 by 24 at the least. Got an automatic door coming. That's why there's no door right there. And my buddy, the one that's giving me the chickens, he's also going to give me a couple feeders. He's also going to give me a couple of water dispensers. So I'll be set. I'll be ready for some chickens. I've got the beast right here covered up. It's supposed to rain for the next couple of days. Again, got the mound over there. I need a lot more dirt to make my backstop. And yeah, leveled out the range, just using the land plane. There were a lot of ruts. I need to do something about that because this soil is super sandy. And what ends up happening is every time it rains, it starts creating, you know, just a lot of water spots, a water where the water is just digging into the ground. Kind of leveled this out over here. This is the back of the container. This is where I'm going to put the trailer. It's going to go in this area here. Well, today I have been rained on twice. The first time I just got soaked. Went to water country with the family. Came in. They delivered the coop. I started doing work. Drenched for like 30 minutes, and I just embraced the suck. I went home. I had some food, and then when I came back, of course, I had a different change of clothes, and I was working with the tractor, just keeping busy, and then it started raining again, so I just jumped inside the GX and waited it out, and then yeah, came back out, leveled the coop. It's been a good day. Got a lot done. Last thing I'll show you is the wood here. So again, I had like 6 different piles, and these 2 piles, I've organized it. This is all that's left. Again, the rest of it is up the hill, and that's going to be treated soon enough. I cleaned up all this because it was a bunch of bark. But yeah, this will either be, you know, something that I use for later, or it'll just become firewood. But it's lifted off the ground. Yeah, it's the best I could do right there. Went from 6 to 4, but those are gonna go away. These 2 will stay here. I gotta replace the zip line, which now it's a clear lane right to the end right here. Got a pile of, really most of that is just mulch. Not just mulch, bark that I've picked up. And, you know, roots that I've picked up with the land plane that it's dug up. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, any suggestions for the chicken run, I know there's some pros out there that have owned chickens for a long time. These are gonna be my first chickens, so I'm excited about that. If you have any tips on the millings, like, you know, hey, make sure, whatever, put more on this side than that side, or I don't know. Because obviously I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of trying to make it level and spread it out evenly. What sucks is that it's so thin in a lot of places that when I use the land plane, it's picking up the fabric. So I have to go very slow. I have to watch out for the fabric to be picked up. And I stop and I back up and, you know, try not to mess too much up. It's looking good, guys. Pretty proud of where I'm at right now. All right, that's enough. Take care. God bless. I'll see you guys in a couple weeks.